Okay, this is Jack again, and I was just describing the form. So, the physical human form, the vessel itself, was designed in the image and likeness of Earth itself. Okay, it had its core, which was the skeleton, and it had its form as that which forms it, which was of that which the Earth consisted of. So they basically took the essence of Earth, and that's what they were able to do as well. They were able to remove the essences of that which existed. Basically, that's how the Atlanteans designed different expressions of themselves, and they didn't die. Was they removed the essence of themselves, and from there they started developing. So that's how the form. So the form is really the manifest from the image and likeness of Earth. Now, the Syrians placed these systems inside the physical human form, the vessel. It wasn't called the physical human form, but I'm going to use that terminology because then you're able to understand what I'm speaking of. The physical human form. They had now that, and so Anu went, okay, is that now it? You know. Is that all that's needed? And he looks at this and he says, okay, so go and let's see. So he goes in and he says, okay, now this works. So he starts walking inside this form, and he's able to do it because of that center point, and he started moving. And then he went, okay, that's it, that's all we need, this is perfect, this is done. Syrians went, nah, no, can't be. There has to be something missing. And now there were still not organs yet. Remember this. There wasn't blood flow or things like that. They'll come later. So I said, no, I'm satisfied with this. All I need to dig up the gold. Let me just move. Yeah. And he starts doing all that. Don't get tired. It's all I need. So the Syrians said, okay, but they'd like a what do they call it? A meeting with Anu and Anunnaki race. So I said, okay, let's do that. And the serpents later on started hearing of Anu's form and how he's manifesting himself, and that was actually the desire for many beings at that time, because it was fascinating. That was just cool. So the Syrians, Anu, and the serpents came together, and they had this huge get together in Anu's planet. Now this time Anu's planet was thriving, beautiful, many beings, gold, all gold, and so because of all the gold he got from Earth, of course. This form that I was explaining about now, that he was forming, was for a later stage if he could not obtain the gold anymore interdimensionally, because his planet would start manifesting. So he started speaking to the Syrians and the serpents about what is going on. He needs gold to be able to survive, and the Atlanteans won't have him stay there, actually manifest there, and actually maybe do that, get that, you develop this form to get the gold out. That's all I may do still at the moment, but I still have a problem. It's not going to solve the problem. I need to actually inhabit this planet. I need to inhabit it, because otherwise I won't survive anymore. Otherwise the gold will become solid and I won't be able to exist anymore. So the serpents, of course, suggested something interesting. They said to Anu, okay, Anu, why don't you take over the planet? You require something that powers that form. Why not just do the Atlanteans? Now Anu at that time was skittish. He wasn't, he was like a serious, playful boy to a certain extent, because he was reasonably young then. Young in terms of time, age, if you want to call it that. In terms of his experience of himself in existence, he was young. And Anu was like, I can't do that. I can't, because the Atlanteans were free-giving, They said, I may have that goal to sustain myself. Why do I want to cause this in existence when everyone is seemingly fine? All I'm doing is manifesting to be able to survive. That's it. That's all I'm doing. I just need to survive. And I'm sure I can figure out an agreement with the Atlanteans so I may inhabit the planet, and they're able to exist in their ocean because the ocean, in terms of was the water that manifested itself. They didn't necessarily move on land, the Atlanteans. They didn't actually at all, sometimes. And the Atlanteans wanted to manifest themselves as well, so an interesting suggestion came forth from Anu to the Atlanteans. Now, after the Syrians and the serpents and Anu had that meeting, the serpent said to Anu, if you don't do it, we'll do it. We'll take over the planet. And this frightened Anu. So Anu went to the Atlanteans and he said to them, listen, this is what's going on. He talked to them straight. He said to them, the serpents want to take over your planet as the manifested form because they want to manifest as well. And they don't actually care about me having to survive to acquire the gold, or even about you. All they care about is obviously themselves, and that's what they are. They're fucking mean beings. And the Atlanteans said, well, let them come. They're not going to take over this planet. This planet is ours. It's who we are. It's an expression of ourselves. We invited you, and we said we were aware that you required gold to survive, and that's what we did, and that's all you need. They said, Anu, if it comes to that, if this world manifests to such an extent where you can't get gold, we'll make a plan. There must be a way that it can still maintain interdimensionality. And Anu said, no, it won't. I guarantee that this planet is going to manifest, and we're not going to have access if we don't get this form manifested with this earth as soon as possible. And the Atlanteans saw into it. I mean, they looked at it and they realized, they aren't manifesting with this planet. They're still very much interdimensional, and they're starting to lose what they had. In terms of, as I said, they did stand on this planet, because of the gravity, but they didn't manifest as and with the planet, which was the problem. Okay, this is Jack. I will continue in my next interview. Thank you.